A judge denies DOJ request for stay in Mar-a-Lago investigation. We'll tell you why. The line to see the Queen Lion State has reached capacity. We have the latest. And find out how students are kicking off Hispanic Heritage Month right here on campus. This is OU Nightly.
Dog Billy here. First road trip to Lincoln, Nebraska. We got to go over here and take care of business, bro. One of the biggest rivalry games in college football history. Hope to see you all there. Boomer Sooner. Boomer Sooner.
By land and by air, Sooner football is headed north to meet the other Big Red. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Amaya Ward.
And I'm Dacoda McDowell-Wahpekeche. We begin tonight with the Battle of the Big Reds. OU Nightly's Game Day U team is in Lincoln, Nebraska tonight.
Parker Abels and Carly Murray join us live. You've been talking to football fans all day.
Abels, and we are in Lincoln in Memorial Stadium. Now, Parker, you were able to catch up with some Cornhusker fans today, right?
Yeah, Carly, I was able to walk around campus and talk to some Husker faithful about who they thought was going to win the game tomorrow. Some were confident in the Huskers' chances, others not so much.
Prediction for tomorrow's game? 21-0 Huskers.
He's going to win by probably 3 touchdowns. I hope they don't, but
bet that Nebraska wins 28-21.
It's going to be 35-20.
Who's going to win?
Nebraska.
What's your favorite OU Nebraska memory?
My favorite OU Nebraska memory was in 1959 when Oklahoma was beaten in the first time in the Big Eight in the conference opponents in 10 years.
Nebraska fans will be hoping for the same result as that 1959 game.
Reporting live in Lincoln from Memorial Stadium with Parker Abels, I'm Carly Murray.
It's warm in Nebraska, and you can call it downright hot here in Norman.
If you're staying in town, maybe going to the State Fair. Peyton Galyean has more on first weather to prepare you for that heat.
Yeah, Amaya, Dacoda, it is in the 90s here in Norman right now and pretty much across the rest of the state of Oklahoma. Fall is right around the corner starting next week, and it definitely does not feel like fall. But if you're heading out to the State Fair tonight, 90s to start off and then dipping down into the mid-80s. Kind of windy, almost to 15 miles an hour. But coming up in Maine weather, I'm going to talk about more record-breaking heat going into next week. The drought continuation we are still dealing with in your game day forecast if you do find yourself in Lincoln, Nebraska. Guys?
Thanks, Peyton. Last night, a judge appointed a special master to review seized documents from the Mar-a-Lago investigation. The special master will filter potential privileged documents found in former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. Judge Cannon also denied the Justice Department access to about 100 documents marked classified, despite its claim that national security is at risk.
I feel like we're giving credence to this myth, frankly, that Trump has come up with, that he declassified things.
The Justice Department plans to appeal. And when we come back, we'll have more coverage on Queen Elizabeth and how people are waiting to see her lie in state.
And a student organization is highlighting the influence of Hispanic communities. Next on OU Nightly. Joe Biden meets with the families of U.S. citizens detained in Russia and why people are waiting hours in line. Brooke has that and the rest of today's national headlines from the News Center.
The line got up to nearly 5 miles long during the Queen's lying in state, with a wait time of 14 hours. Early this morning, they had to pause the line because it was reaching capacity. Several hours later, they reopened, and the wait time reached up to 24 hours. The Queen will lie in state until Sunday before the funeral service on Monday morning. Today, President Joe Biden is set to meet with the families of Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan at the White House to discuss plans to bring them back home.
The President, the State Department, this institution myself, other parts of our government are working every single day to try to bring Americans who are being arbitrarily detained or unjustly held anywhere in the world to bring them home.
Griner and Whelan have been detained in Russia and are set to have multiple years in prison overseas. Today is a historic day for Mexico as they celebrate the anniversary of their independence. They celebrate by having presentations from artists in various public squares throughout the country. It also includes the traditional cry by President Manuel Andrés López Obrador, which includes a ringing of the original bell Miguel Hidalgo used in 1810. President Biden is expected to attend Queen Elizabeth's funeral on Monday. Amaya and Dacoda, back to you.
Thanks, Brooke. An OU organization is kicking off Hispanic Heritage Month. The Latinx band Luna Luna came to the university to highlight contributions and influence of Hispanic communities in the U.S.
Traditions for Hispanic and Latino students at OU, students of color, aren't usually highlighted, so we wanted to make sure that the kickoff was something that would just go on into this large celebration that we were going to have for the rest of the month.
Follow HASA to get involved.
After the break, how one dog is giving back to hospital patients in Nebraska.
The heat is not backing down anytime soon. Fall starts next week. Peyton, can we expect any cooler temperatures?
Not so soon. Temperatures in the 90s still continue into next week. I'll have more after the break. To OU Nightly, taking a look at the South Oval right now, it's pretty clear except a few clouds in the skies bringing that little bit of relief because 91 degrees right now. It is the middle of September. Fall is right around the corner. In the rest of the state of Oklahoma, pretty much 90s across the board, even 94 up in Galyean. It is definitely feeling like August, summertime. Not the fall temperatures we are looking for, but if you are heading out to the Oklahoma State Fair this weekend, since we don't have any football here in Norman, tomorrow morning starting at 80 degrees, but warming up into the lower 90s once again by that afternoon. But here at home tonight, back in the 70s, and this very dry pattern is going to last into next week, which is why this drought situation is not getting any better. You can see these red shaded regions pretty much match my dress right now. These darker shaded regions, that is areas of the state that are in horrible conditions, and we're not going to get relief for another close to 10 days. We have to go into models for a while before we have any rain in our forecast, which is why these allergies are still off the charts. That ragweed very high. Grass has slowly come down to that medium level. Tree pollen pretty low. That mold pollen still pretty high. And you're sniffling, you're sneezing, you're coughing. Trust me, I just got over it. And the heat, it's still going to stick around for a while. You can see much of the southeast portion of the United States is going to be above average for the next 8 to 14 days. Still hot. Feels like summer, and just look at these temperature trends. We're going to hit close to record-breaking heat coming into next week. Little bit of a dip on Thursday for your first day of fall. It's not going to feel like fall, and it's not going to feel like football if you find yourself in Lincoln, Nebraska tomorrow. Temperatures in the upper 80s by fourth quarter. Hoping to cheer on Big Red and get that Sooner win for your next 7 days. Tomorrow and Sunday, pretty much in the mid-90s. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, up in the higher 90s. These are days we're going to have to watch out for to hit that record-breaking heat. Thursday, that first day of fall, dipping back into 90s, but not much of relief for your Friday. Temperatures still in the 90s. Guys, football next week, we are going to have to watch. Could be close to triple-digit heats.
Thanks, Peyton. In Omaha, one dog is helping hospital patients.
That's right. Dude the dog has been going around the Methodist Hospital for 5 years. The puppy has visited cancer patients once a week. His owner, Laura, said it makes her and her dog very happy to bring smiles to people with cancer and the hospital workers. Speaking of Nebraska, the Sooner faithful and the football team have started their trek toward Lincoln to take on the Cornhuskers.
Our sports team is live from the Nebraska's Memorial Stadium and are ready to break down the history of the rivalry. Guys?
Out here on the beautiful Lincoln Yes, we are out here on the beautiful Tom Osborne Field, and I will have a recap of some of the highlights and the history of this great rivalry.
And we hear Brent Venables' emotional reaction to the 2000 matchup.
Bringing us over, and I think Crouch was maybe the quarterback then, and they were running the option, you know, and we had over pursued a few times, and they went right down, pow, pow, man, just body blow, uppercut, and we were just laying it on the ropes, and Coach Stoops coming on.
Welcome to Big Friday Sports. I'm Stone Weber.
And I'm Madeline Hunter. Before we get started here in the studio, we're going to send it out to our Game Day U team, who is live from Lincoln, Nebraska. Ashley, Dylan.
We are at Lincoln Memorial Stadium here on Tom Osborne Field. Dylan Rivera here with Ashley Velde. We're expecting a great game tomorrow, but regardless of what we see, it may not live up to what we saw in Norman in 2000.
That's right, Dylan. Back in 2000, the Sooners got off to a bit of a slow start before scoring 31 unanswered points against the Cornhuskers. Head coach Brent Venables, who was then the defensive coordinator at OU, got a little bit emotional reminiscing over the matchup earlier this week.
And then I remember getting down 14-0, and Coach Stoops bringing us over, and I think Crouch was maybe the quarterback then, and they were running the option, you know, and we had over pursued a few times, and they went right down, pow, pow, man, just body blow, uppercut, and we were just laying it on the ropes, and Coach Stoops coming on, let's go, we're all right, just slow it down, and like, surely it can't be that easy. But he was right. And then we went 31 unanswered, really. What a great, and all I remember, they tore down them goalposts out there. So they tore down the goalpost in Norman, Oklahoma, which we know they don't do.
With so many memorable moments from this matchup over the years, it's hard to just pick one game, Dylan.
Yeah, I had to do a deep dive into the archives to see if I could find as many magical moments from this monumental rivalry as I could, and these are some of the highlights I found from the last 5 decades. It's a rivalry etched in the history books of college football. Nebraska and Oklahoma. We're going to rewind 51 years to 1971, the game of the century. Number 1, Nebraska. Number 2, Oklahoma. Wide receiver Johnny Rogers handles the punt from OU and takes it 72 yards to the house. The game would be a high-scoring affair, with the Cornhuskers winning it 35-31. In 1985, quarterback Jamel Holloway fakes the handoff and pitches the ball to tight end Keith Jackson for the reverse. With plenty of help from downfield blockers, Jackson ran 88 yards to find pay dirt and gave the Sooners the early 7-0 lead. Fans threw oranges down on the field as this game used to decide who played in the Orange Bowl. OU would go on to win it 27-7. Jumping to 2000, a southpaw by the name of Josh Heupel looks deep, and Andre Woolfolk will make one of the greatest catches this rivalry has ever seen as the sophomore wide receiver would kick the ball up to himself. This game would mark the last time OU fans rushed the field, and OU would go on to win the national championship that year. And finally to 2021, where the rivalry is renewed, and DJ Graham makes an interception for the ages. And edge rusher Nick Bonito would seal the 23-16 victory. And that brings us all the way back to the present day. Today, with so much conference realignment going on, it begs the question of how much longer we'll have rivalries like this one. So when programs get the chance to revive a matchup like this, the school should take the chance and the fans should cherish it. From Lincoln Memorial Stadium, I'm Dylan Rivera.
And I'm Ashley Velde. Stone and Madeline, back to you.
Everyone's game days are a little different. Some are cheering on the Sooners from the stands and others are watching on a screen. But some are lucky enough to be doing it front row on the field.
Football season is an exciting time, especially for those who are on the sideline. I got to get an inside scoop from Kenzie Parker with OU All-Girl Cheer about what her game days typically look like.
I'm Kenzie.
Hey guys,
This
I'm
is
Julie.
Julie
I'm
and
Lucy.
Lucy. And we're on OU All Girl, and we're going to take you guys along with us for the first game day of the year.
Yay.
We're at the stadium. There she is. We made it. And right now we're about to go through security. Here's that. And that's like part of the reason we get here so early is so that we can like get in super easily, like, and not get stuck in the crowds. Just got through security, and now we're walking on the field to take some pictures before the game. We have parent show-offs in a little bit, so we like warm up and we do like a bunch of our skills for our parents to watch, and like everyone else that's tailgating can watch too. And then we come back and eat and like freshen up, and then we cheer. Okay, so right now we're warming up. We're in the indoor called Everest. 1:30 right now, kickoff's at 2:30, so we'll probably head down here in about 5 minutes to go. Right now we're just setting everything up, so putting all of our props where they go, so that whenever we come out for pregame, it's all ready for us. We're excited.
Kenzie Iserman, OU Nightly.
A movement is spreading surrounding tailgating at OU with a popular face behind it. Big Friday Sports' Addie Crawford is live on Lindsay Street with more. Addie?
Stone, Madeline, I'm on Lindsay Street right now, and just 5 years ago, this place was absolutely bumping on game days, and obviously things have changed. It's a lot different now. People are talking about how to better OU's tailgating atmosphere, and the ringleader behind it all is Eddie Radosevich.
Love Eddie. Listen to Unofficial 40 every Thursday, so big fan.
I like that.
Sooner Scoop's Eddie Radosevich has over 60,000 followers on Twitter.
I'm not a complete idiot.
Those 60,000 come in handy
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
when becoming the founder of the Make Lindsay Street Great Again movement.
I like it. Yeah, we're gonna run it.
And what's the movement?
Come out, have fun, enjoy the day.
A protest to bring tailgating back to Lindsay Street, where it was once a party plaza on game days.
It was incredible. It was the spot to be. It was fraternities, private parties. It was, parents. Everybody was there having a great time.
The key word there was.
What is it like now?
Nothing. It is a piece of grass with a dorm behind it.
Eddie says the drastic change is
Devastating. It's almost as bad as when Lincoln Riley left Oklahoma.
it happened in what seems like out of nowhere back in 2017.
And I think that the university kind of took control of it. You know, you've always heard rumors that maybe it was the Honors College, which, in a joking manner, I've said that they should just close down and bury or, take a wrecking ball to.
And just last month, Eddie created the Make Lindsay Street Great Again campaign on Twitter, then plastered it onto a t-shirt.
They turned out pretty good. We sold millions of them.
You sold millions, huh?
No, probably not millions.
And it comes at a time where the tailgating atmosphere matters most.
My wife is actually an LSU Tiger, and I've seen their tailgating, and we've got a long way to go.
In the end, Eddie's Sooner fan fame paired with the success of his merch is giving hope that there's a possibility for light at the end of the tunnel.
With him behind it and a large following, I think he's the right person to do it.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Well, if you feel strongly about tailgating on Lindsay Street, then you can buy Eddie's shirt at SoonerScoopStore.com. Reporting live from Lindsay Street, Addie Crawford, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Addie. Still to come on Big Friday Sports, OU Volleyball continues their hot streak.
And it's the beginning of a new era for Thursday night football. Find out what went down in Kansas City last night when Big Friday Sports returns.
Game day in Lincoln, Nebraska. OU takes on Nebraska, and I know my Sooner fans are going to be out there, so let's go ahead and jump into this forecast. At tailgating time, as you're putting those eggs and bacon on the grill, it's going to be about 74 degrees. Kickoff is at 11 a.m. Winds will be blowing in from the south 10 to 15 miles per hour, partly cloudy. We're going to increase in temperature all the way throughout the game with a high of 86 degrees. And you know your OU Sooners are going to be victorious. My name is Jaden Knowles, signing off.
Thanks, Jaden. The OU women's soccer team defeated East Tennessee State on Thursday with a final score of 4-1. The Sooners made a statement in the second half with 24 shots and 10 shots on goal with 4 goals. The girls will continue their road trip when they take on Murray State at 12 p.m. this Sunday.
And coming off of a 3-0 win over Texas Southern this afternoon. OU volleyball is now 9-2 on the season, their best start since 2016. Megan Wilson and Morgan Perkins led the way with 10 kills, as OU has now won 16 of their last 18 sets and 6 matches in a row. The Sooners have one game left today to close out their non-conference schedule, playing Nevada at 7 p.m.
And in honor of Military Appreciation Night, fanny packs will be given out to fans while supplies last. Conference play opens up next Saturday with a trip to Austin to play the Texas Longhorns.
The men's and women's cross-country teams are in Lubbock today for the Texas Tech Open. This is the second meet of the season for both squads following their first meet at the Mizzou Cross Country Open. Both teams finished second in Columbia.
After winning their 5th national championship in April, you don't want to waste any time getting your tickets for the 2023 OU Women's Gymnastics season. The OU Athletics Department announced today, ahead of National Gymnastics Day, that season tickets are now available.
The OU women's tennis team announced their fall 2022 schedule on Thursday evening. The Sooners are scheduled to compete in 17 events this fall, with different student athletes competing in varying tournaments around the country. And last night was the debut of Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime, featuring anchors Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit, and the game did not disappoint.
The Chargers jumped out to a 10-0 lead in the second quarter, but the play of the game didn't come from either offense, but it came from Chiefs cornerback Jalen Watson. Watson picked off Justin Herbert in the red zone, and the rookie took it 99 yards for a touchdown, putting the Chiefs up 24-17, and they never looked back, winning 27-24.
And Madeline, if these Thursday night games continue to be this good, we're in for a real treat this NFL season.
Oh, yeah, Stone. I got a feeling it's going to be a great year. Well, thanks for watching Big Friday Sports. We leave you tonight with a live look at the field in Lincoln, Nebraska, and be sure to tune in next week at 4:30. Good night.